My dear brothers and sisters, in this life, everyone wants peace. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants happiness. But very few realize that peace begins from within, not from the world around you. And the most powerful way to achieve that inner peace is by controlling 4 things: your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind. These 4 controls are not just manners, they are acts of worship. They are the difference between chaos and calm, arrogance and humility, destruction and discipline. 1. Control your mouth. Every word that leaves your mouth writes your destiny. A single sentence can destroy relationships, break hearts, or plant the seed of hatred. But that same mouth can bring comfort, encouragement, and forgiveness. Your tongue is a tool. It can either be a sword or a cure. If you cannot speak good, learn the art of silence, because silence never betrays you. The prophet said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day, let him speak good or remain silent." So before you speak, ask yourself, will these words bring peace or pain? Will they lift someone or crush them? Your mouth is a mirror of your heart. If your heart is clean, your words will be kind. If your heart is filled with envy or pride, your words will always harm. Train your mouth to speak gratitude, forgiveness, and truth. That's how you purify your soul. 2. Control your mood. We all have days when anger takes over, when disappointment eats us from inside. But the one who controls their mood controls their destiny. Anyone can smile when life is easy.
But true strength is when you stay calm in chaos, patient in pain, and grateful in loss. Don't let your emotions make decisions that your faith should be making. When anger rises, step back. When sadness comes, pray. When pride whispers, remember who created you from dust. Your mood is a test. Every reaction you give is recorded. Every moment of patience is rewarded. So when someone hurts you, respond with wisdom, not revenge. When something doesn't go your way, trust that maybe it wasn't meant for you. Peace belongs to the one who controls their mood, not to the one who controls others. 3. Control your money. Your money is a test, not a trophy. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how you spend. Some people are rich in their wallets, but poor in their hearts. Others may have little, but they live with peace and dignity. When you spend for good, your wealth becomes blessed. When you hoard, cheat, or misuse it, your wealth becomes a burden. Remember, the money you give in charity never decreases your wealth. It increases it in ways you cannot imagine, in peace, health, and unseen protection. Don't let money control you. Use it as a tool to serve others, not as a throne to rule over them. Because in the end, your bank balance will not enter your grave, only your deeds will. 4. Control your mind. The mind is where the real battle happens. Every thought, every fear, every doubt, it all begins there. Your mind can either build your faith or destroy it. It can make you grateful or greedy, peaceful or anxious. If you don't control your mind, the world will control it for you. You will start believing lies, that success is in wealth, that beauty is in appearance, that happiness is in attention. But true peace is in surrender, surrendering your mind to your Creator. Train your thoughts to focus on gratitude, not complaint, on patience, not panic, on faith, not fear. Your thoughts shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. Conclusion. So, my dear brothers and sisters, control your mouth, and you will protect your relationships. Control your mood, and you will protect your peace. Control your money, and you will protect your blessings. Control your mind, and you will protect your faith. When you master these four, Allah will open doors for you that you never imagined. He will replace your restlessness with peace, your anger with calm, your loss with wisdom. Don't pray only for success, pray for self-control, because the one who controls themselves is already successful in the eyes of Allah. Final reflection. The most powerful person is not the one who controls others, but the one who controls their tongue, their temper, their temptations, and their thoughts. Sometimes the most dangerous weapon in the world isn't a gun or a sword, it's the human tongue. The words we say, often without thinking, can pierce deeper than a knife. They can destroy trust, ruin relationships, and leave scars that no one can see. And yet that same mouth can be a source of healing, love, and hope. Our mouth reflects what's inside our heart. Whatever fills your heart eventually finds its way to your tongue. If your heart is full of bitterness, your words will taste bitter. If it's filled with love, peace, and sincerity, your words will comfort everyone around you. Think about it. Have you ever spoken in anger and regretted it later? We've all been there. The moment you're upset, your heart is heavy, emotions boil over, and your mouth becomes the messenger of your pain. But once the moment passes, you realize those words can't be taken back. No matter how many times you say, "I didn't mean it," the damage is done. Words once released cannot be erased. They echo in someone's heart long after the conversation ends. The mouth doesn't just speak, it reveals. It reveals our patience, our humility, and our level of self-control. Some people know how to hide their true emotions for a while, but eventually, their words expose what lies within. That's why wise people say, if you want to know someone's heart, listen to how they speak when they're angry. A person with a pure heart doesn't need fancy words. Their kindness shows even in simple sentences. They don't gossip, they don't insult, and they don't humiliate. They speak with respect, even when they disagree. Their words bring light, not darkness. On the other hand, a heart poisoned by arrogance or jealousy can't help but express it. Such a person constantly criticizes, mocks, or looks down on others. They may think they're being honest, but in truth, they're revealing their own pain and insecurity. What's inside always finds its way out, sometimes through anger, sometimes through sarcasm, and sometimes through silence that carries contempt.
There's deep wisdom in learning to pause before speaking. That 2-second pause can save friendships, prevent misunderstandings, and stop a situation from turning toxic. Sometimes people don't need advice, they just need a gentle tone. Your tone can calm storms or create them. The way you say something often matters more than what you say. Even in faith, great emphasis is placed on guarding the tongue. Because your words are never just words. They can become prayers or sins, depending on how you use them. Every word is written. Every sentence is witnessed. That's how sacred speech is. Try this. For one day, consciously choose your words. Before you reply, ask yourself, is this kind? Is this necessary? Is this true? If your words don't meet these 3 conditions, let them go. You'll be amazed how peaceful you feel when your speech becomes intentional. There's also a quiet beauty in gentle speech. Some people can correct others without hurting them. They can disagree without disrespect. They know that softness doesn't make you weak. It makes you wise. Because wisdom isn't in how loudly you speak, but in how gracefully you communicate. The more you grow spiritually, the more you realize that your mouth is a reflection of your soul. You can't claim to have a pure heart if your words constantly harm others. You can't claim to be peaceful if your tongue spreads chaos. True faith shows in your character, and your character is revealed through your speech. So take care of what you say, not just to others, but to yourself as well. The way you speak to yourself in your thoughts shapes your confidence and your peace. Speak kindly in your prayers, in your pain, and in your silence. Let your mouth become a source of goodness, a reminder of patience, and a reflection of a heart that remembers its Creator with love. Because in the end, your mouth doesn't just express your thoughts, it expresses your heart. And when your heart is pure, your words will always shine with truth, gentleness, and grace. There are days when you wake up feeling calm, grateful, and ready to take on the world. And then there are days when a single word, a small delay, or a tiny mistake can flip your entire mood. That's life. Unpredictable, messy, and full of tests. But here's the truth. What defines you isn't how perfect your day is, but how you respond when it isn't. Your mood reveals your inner strength more than your achievements ever will. Anyone can smile when life is smooth. Anyone can be kind when they're comfortable. But true strength appears when the situation shakes you, when things go wrong, and yet you choose to stay patient, calm, and kind. It's easy to let emotions take control, to snap back when someone disrespects you, to get irritated when plans fail, or to sink into sadness when life feels unfair. But the one who learns to control their mood isn't weak, they're powerful. Because mastering your emotions means mastering yourself. Think about it. When someone insults you, they're testing your peace. When a situation frustrates you, it's testing your patience. When disappointment hits, it's testing your trust. Every emotional reaction is an opportunity, either to grow or to lose control. And most of the time, your peace doesn't depend on the world. It depends on your response to it. We live in a world where anger is normalized. People lose their temper over traffic, social media comments, even minor disagreements. But anger, when uncontrolled, burns you before it ever reaches the other person. It drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and distances you from peace. The strongest person isn't the one who wins every argument, but the one who walks away when silence is wiser. Your mood is also deeply connected to your thoughts. When you allow negative thoughts to live rent-free in your mind, they begin to shape your emotions. That's why a small problem feels huge, because you've fed it with fear and overthinking. But when you shift your thoughts toward gratitude, patience, and faith, your mood follows. Gratitude calms the storm inside you. It reminds you that no matter what's missing, you still have enough to be thankful for. Sometimes your mood reflects what's happening in your heart. If your heart carries anger, sadness, or jealousy, your mood will always fluctuate. You'll feel easily hurt, easily offended, and constantly restless. But if your heart is filled with contentment and trust, you'll find peace even in pain. You'll still feel emotions because you're human, but they won't control you anymore. People often say, "Don't let others affect your mood." But it's easier said than done. You can't stop people from being rude or situations from being hard. What you can do is control what happens inside you. You can decide to respond or react, to be calm or chaotic, to take it personally or take it as a test. And remember, not every emotion needs an expression. Sometimes the best response is silence. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to protect your peace. Silence doesn't mean you agree, it means you're strong enough to not waste your energy where it won't be valued.
Your mood also affects the people around you. A kind tone can soften hearts, while a harsh tone can destroy them. Sometimes one gentle word can stop an argument from escalating. So, when you control your mood, you're not only protecting yourself, you're protecting others from unnecessary pain. It takes courage to stay calm when your heart is burning. It takes faith to smile when life feels unfair. It takes wisdom to walk away when your ego wants to fight. That's what emotional strength looks like: quiet, steady, and full of self-awareness. If you pay attention, your mood often reflects your relationship with your Creator. When your heart is connected, your soul feels balanced. Even when things go wrong, you find peace in knowing that every delay, every disappointment, every challenge has purpose. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Guide me." That shift changes everything. So when your mood starts to slip, pause. Take a deep breath. Don't rush to respond. Don't let anger speak for you. Give your emotions a moment to settle. The power lies in that pause. That's where your strength lives. Because in the end, your mood is not just about how you feel. It's about who you are when things don't go your way. Anyone can shine in comfort, but only the strong can shine in chaos. And those who learn to master their moods don't just survive life, they rise above it. Money is one of the most powerful tests of life. It can bring comfort, ease, and security, but it can also bring pride, greed, and arrogance. It's not evil in itself, it's a tool. What matters is how you earn it, how you use it, and what it does to your heart. People often believe that money defines success, that the one who drives the nicest car, wears the most expensive clothes, or owns the biggest house has made it. But wealth without peace is poverty in disguise. There are people who sleep on silk sheets but can't close their eyes. And there are others who have little, but they rest peacefully because their hearts are content. Money, at its core, is a mirror. It reflects your character. It shows who you are when no one is watching. When you have plenty, do you become generous or arrogant? When you have little, do you stay patient or bitter? That's the real test. Sometimes blessings come not through wealth, but through the ability to manage it wisely. You might not be rich, but if your heart is grateful, you are richer than most. And sometimes having too much can make a person forget who provided it in the first place. The heart starts to trust the wallet more than the one who filled it. The truth is, money doesn't change people. It reveals them. When a person earns wealth, their true nature surfaces. The kind become kinder. The greedy become greedier. The humble give more. The arrogant take more. That's why it's said that wealth can be both a blessing and a burden. It depends on how you carry it. Your money is meant to serve you, not control you. It's supposed to be in your hand, not your heart. The moment it enters your heart, you lose balance. You start chasing more and more, and no matter how much you get, it never feels enough. That's when peace disappears, because greed has no finish line. But when you see money as a means, not an end, you find freedom. You stop comparing, stop competing, and start living with purpose. You spend wisely, save responsibly, and give generously. You realize that what you share for the sake of goodness never truly leaves you. It returns, not always in cash, but in peace, protection, and unseen blessings. Charity isn't about how much you give. It's about how much love you put into giving. Even the smallest act, feeding someone, helping a family, supporting a cause, becomes an investment in your soul. You may forget your good deeds, but your Creator never does. And here's something we often forget. Your money is temporary, but the impact it creates can be eternal. A single act of generosity can change someone's life. A small donation can feed a hungry child, build a home, or bring hope where there was none. That's how wealth becomes meaningful, not when it shines in your bank account, but when it shines in someone's prayer for you. There's also a hidden danger in how society measures success. We're taught to admire people for what they have, not for who they are. But what's the point of wealth if it makes you forget kindness? What's the value of success if it costs you your peace, your humility, or your compassion? True richness isn't counted in currency, it's counted in contentment. When your heart is satisfied with what you have, you stop being enslaved by what you want. You start to see wealth not as something to display, but as something to distribute. You stop saying, "How much can I gain?" and start asking, "How much good can I do?" And when you give, you don't lose, you gain in ways you can't measure. You gain peace in your home, ease in your affairs, and blessings in your health. The more you give, the lighter your heart becomes. That's the secret of generosity. It purifies not your wallet, but your soul. So whenever you receive money, whisper gratitude. Whenever you spend it, remember responsibility. And whenever you give it away, feel the quiet joy of knowing that you've passed your test, that you've chosen generosity over greed. Because in the end, your money won't follow you to your grave, but your deeds will. What you give remains written long after you're gone. The cars, the gold, the luxury, they stay behind. But the kindness you share travels with you into eternity. Money is not a trophy to show off. It's a test to pass. And those who use it wisely, to help, to heal, to uplift, are the ones who truly succeed. Everything in your life begins with a single thought. Before you take action, before you speak, before you decide, your mind leads the way. That's why your mind is not just a part of you, it's the driver of your entire destiny. If your thoughts are peaceful, your life feels peaceful. If your thoughts are restless, your entire world feels heavy. You could be surrounded by blessings and still feel miserable if your mind keeps focusing on what's missing. And you could have very little, yet feel content if your mind is trained to see what's beautiful. The truth is, your mind can be your greatest friend or your worst enemy. It can lift you up or tear you apart. And the difference lies in what you allow it to feed on: negativity or gratitude, fear or faith, doubt or trust. Every day your mind speaks to you. It tells you stories about who you are, what you deserve, and what your future looks like. And most of the time, those stories are built not from truth, but from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of loss. But when you let fear write your story, you start living smaller than your purpose. A disciplined mind doesn't mean you never feel doubt or sadness. It means you know how to guide those emotions instead of being controlled by them. You acknowledge the pain, but you don't live in it. You recognize the fear, but you don't obey it. You train your mind to return to peace no matter what storm passes through it. Sometimes you can't change your situation, but you can always change your perspective. The same event can either break you or build you, depending on how your mind chooses to see it. A rejection can feel like failure, or it can be protection. A delay can feel like punishment, or it can be preparation. Your mind decides which one it becomes. That's why it's said that your thoughts shape your reality, because whatever you focus on grows. If you focus on negativity, it multiplies. If you focus on gratitude, blessings multiply. The mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow, whether it's weeds or flowers. Be careful of what you consume, too. Every conversation, every video, every post you scroll through, they're feeding your mind. If you fill your head with noise and envy, don't be surprised when peace disappears. Protect your mental space like you protect your home. Not everything deserves entry. There's also beauty in silence. When you quiet your surroundings, your thoughts become clearer. You begin to notice what truly matters. You start to separate your voice from the world's noise. You stop reacting to everything and start reflecting.
In silence, your mind heals, reorganizes, and realigns with your purpose. It's not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about understanding that peace isn't the absence of problems. It's the ability to think clearly despite them. The mind that trusts is stronger than the one that overthinks. Some people spend their entire lives fighting battles that exist only in their imagination. They worry about things that never happen, replay past mistakes that can't be changed, and fear futures that aren't written yet. Overthinking steals peace faster than any hardship ever could. Train your mind to let go. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to control every outcome. Just do your best, think good, and trust that whatever happens, it's meant to